And we are live from the Army. Army Hotel, salute. Iron Law Podcast, Lords of Gaming.net in the building. PAX East 2023, another one down. Gentlemen, successful trip for all. A lot to discuss before we get into that. Let's get into our little intro. You gotta get no official intros. We freestyle.
We're not doing that.
No, we're not doing this. We're not putting the host under all that stress. So we are going to move on. My co-host, co-most, Lord Attic, how we doing, sir?
Doing pretty good. This 2023, in my opinion, was pretty good.
No doubt. Lord Sovereign, how we doing, sir?
Doing well. Exhausted, but it was good to see a packed house.
Yes.
Definitely good to see a packed house. Talk about we saw people. Yeah, it was good to see people. Nice.
Now, and the king of all things.
Oh, thank you so much. I do appreciate it. I didn't know which disc was what. I didn't know. I was looking at that one. I was looking at this one, but he put the disc this way. So
I can't with you. Please, we do not refer to the mic as that. We do not refer to
the pistol. The pistol. So. Nah. Yo, it was good to see every day more and more people are showing up. Now, I do have to say, you enforcers that's taking your job a little bit. You with the bushy eyebrows, you know what I'm talking about. You had a cousin that was downstairs with a less bushy eyebrow. Watch your back, Jack.
No doubt. Of course, we got Lords of Gaming in the building. Let's start off with the man, the myth, the legend, my cameraman. And now do we get interviews. How we doing, sir?
Doing well. Exhausted. It was definitely one of the funner trips. It was fun. I mean, I think that all of us really put 150% effort into this one because we all had way more interviews than I think we ever had in the past. We have so much amazing stuff coming for everybody. So I think it was good.
And of course, the Magic Man, the one who gets all the great interviews, knows the hottest game before we know him, the Magic Lord G. How we doing, sir?
I'm doing great. Just came off of
Hold your own pistols. We gonna have nobody holding your pistols.
I thought that he was holding it for PD. I missed that part of it.
Oh, you did? Oh,
we had like a Mean Gene thing going on.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Tell me what you think, Mean Gene.
I'm tired of coming off a long day of a lot of great games, a great weekend of playing great games, so I'm happy to hear we have.
No doubt. And the rookie, the Michael Jordan of this, his debut, my man, comes all the way through from Indiana. How we doing, Lord Chris? See you, Nick.
Glad to be making my debut into the realm of Lords. Finally, after all the scribes of the month, I have
He said he flexed it. He said, look, finally after winning so many times, they acknowledge me.
Everybody need to come out.
sometimes going back
You
to
still
back.
got to catch him to the champ. He's the champ right here, just so you know.
There's no catching Magic
No doubt. Respect to the OG.
G.
Respect
Great
to
to
the
have
OG.
my first big event such as PAX. Never got to experience something like that, and for you guys to bring me in, treat me as family, it was an experience that I'll never forget.
No doubt. And of course, we have the man, the myth, the legend, Hard Geek City with the game on daily. What's going on, Gaz? I see you being spicy, Gaz.
Yeah, you made sure that he wore that shirt.
I see you being spicy. Behave yourself, sir. But look, we got Hard Geek City in the building. How we doing, brother?
I'm doing okay. I'm glad to be a part of this at some point. So finally, we'll get, I guess, a proper thing in one of the normal.
Oh yeah. We're gonna give you the real royal
Yeah,
treatment. You know
let's
that's
get into it.
That's
I don't know. I mean, from Indiana, maybe it's not Michael Jordan, but Celtics legend Larry Bird. Just saying.
He is from Indiana.
You look like I ain't claiming it like that. But look, we got to get into it, y'all. Look, it's been another PAX, another one in the books. I guess we're gonna start out with just like, hey, what are the standouts? What are the things that kind of you guys saw, covered? We all split up, all hit the ground running. So let's start with you, Lord Attic. What you saw? How was your PAX with you?
Pretty good. I will say there's a lot more, package work games that I've seen than normal. One of the standouts is definitely Cage. I felt like that was a solid experience. Midnight Sun's how it's supposed to be done.
Whoa, easy. I'm about to lose a co-host immediately.
Super spicy.
Super spicy.
Super spicy. It was all the types of fun. But it was a good amount of games. When I looked at it, it just looked interesting. It was that hell
hell of an offense. And at first, I looked at that game and I was like, that's so interesting, mini concept. But then I actually played it and I'm like, this game actually has something. Like, where they had to like yank me off the stadium. Like that shit. It happened to it.
Into it.
I felt like there was a lot of good games. What's that? Alterian Shift. That was a really good game. It's kind of like that old Final Fantasy thing.
No doubt, no doubt. More soccer. What about you? You've been making the rounds, being extra smooth, hitting it up. What you been doing? What games you saw? What kind of things kind of stood out to you?
I mean, there was a whole bunch of everything. I was excited and kind of surprised to see Street Fighter 6.
Oh yes. Can we talk about it? Or
Yeah, man, yo,
Can we talk about it? Is it allowed? Between brothers.
No, you get off the mic. Get off there. Give me that pistol.
Let's go to the footage. Okay. You see what type of child he on. Just go to the footage. Go to the footage.
You know, I'm not gonna say anything about the bogus PlayStation controllers that we have.
No, but I did get perfected. I get 5 rounds.
Oh, I got destroyed in Tekken. I got to put it out there.
I'll take that for
We're going to shout out to the good friends of Allah. We're going to do this.
Yeah, we ain't gonna talk about that. The footage will be up later. Don't let you
Can we delete that?
we're gonna put that out. The streets gonna see this. But we did have a representative that came through that, handle his business. What was his name?
Oh, Edwin. Shout out to Edwin from PAX East who pulled up on us. Yeah.
That's what I like. I like when dudes pull up and represent the realm and just handle dudes, handle the balls.
So yeah, we played Street Fighter 6. We hadn't had a chance to play it.
Yeah, it's crazy.
The game looks beautiful, plays beautiful. We just gotta get used to the heaviness of it. King and I didn't really play a whole bunch of SF5, and so the game is heavy.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to get Street Fighter in the house. By the time we hit PAX, by the time we hit E3 this year.
Yes, sir.
Beyond that, Undisputed, we also played Undisputed. It's kind of the first boxing game that we've seen in a decade, right? Kind of coming back, trying to fill the void left behind by Fight Night. Looked good. The King obviously was speaking more detail about it, but it looked good. It still needs some things.
Yes,
it looked good. But for me, going back a little old school, got to see the remake of System Shock, remakes of the LOGNET Dark.
Yes, got to see that one too.
Actually, today we didn't get to speak to that, but Outcast 2, the beginning. Outcast is the first sort of action movie. 99, I think the original came out. They got remastered not too long ago. Now we have a sequel. Cool person action. And when we went to Africa, we were able to see again another Rise of the Tribe, the game that originally came out in 1993. And see it come back. Obviously, all of those Doom style games, you put it in a modern machine looking at 100 FPS, and it's like just the most beautiful looking classic graphics. And what was the other game?
Turbo Overkill.
Turbo.
Yeah, I remember that one. Yeah, I remember those guys.
Yeah, so Turbo Overkill.
Doom Energy.
Yeah, Doom Energy. Again,
Lots of guns.
Lots of guns, like some weird. It was just go. We saw it last year actually, and to see how far it's progressed this year, to see hopefully they get launched this year, is exciting. But yeah, I think a lot of stuff, and again, so much so that I think kind of we missed out on a lot.
Yeah, it was a lot.
Like last year, I kind of felt like we ran the gamut. We saw pretty much everything in the live show. This year, there was a lot of stuff that we just either didn't have time to get to, or even again, when your media, they give you precedence over getting into certain places and being able to talk. Even that was very difficult. So King and I went back to how many games? There were like 3 or 4 games that we went back to multiple times.
I'm gonna get into that.
Could not find space.
Wow.
That's disappointing, but at the same time, you realize it's back.
Yeah.
So, double-edged sword there. I would have liked to be able to see and talk about more things. But, glad it's
No doubt. Your experiences, sir. You know what I mean? Like, where you at today as far as like any standouts, game-wise, any just moments overall for this PAX for you.
All right. Well, what stands out now is the more people that show up. The way they are booking now, it's a little bit tighter. but I'm not going to give them out, and I'm not going to give them an excuse. I think that a lot of devs or a lot of companies got a lot of workers that can work that hour, work those shifts, and don't know anything about the product that is, you know, there just to babysit the stand or babysit the booth. And that's disappointing. Because a lot of times we saw games that definitely needed our attention, needed that shine, that light. And if we're going to talk about like Dead Island 2, where we had an appointment to go see you guys, and it was like a wasted time. We could have gave that time and space to somebody else that was actually there to participate. I felt that was really unprofessional, but the game looked phenomenal. So either you took your fan base for granted and you wasted our time, or you just felt that the game was going to sell anyway and you really didn't need the light on it. But the game looks great, looks phenomenal. That was one of my standouts there. I like a resurgence of what I've seen in fighting games.
Yes.
I've seen a ton of fighting games with, you know, Tekken 8 leading the charge, followed by Street Fighter and a lot of other games. A callback to our fighting games of old with Undisputed.
Yes.
Now it's an indie game. It has a ton of fighters that are there, and with a lot of indie games, there are little rough edges. They do need to work on the impact of the punches, but I felt that they got the general movements and behaviors of fighters knocked out the park. Beautiful. They worked it, and it has a lot of promise. So it's in beta right now, and it should be really good. The Toxic Crusaders, side-scrolling beat 'em ups are coming back, and we saw it with Streets of Rage. We see it with the Ninja Turtles. And this game looks to take it even further. I want to go back to how we used to have Aliens and Avengers and Punishers and X-Men, stuff like that. So remember, we had those, and those are coming back. So it's a lot of stuff on the showroom floor. Everybody's out there. I thought it was impactful to see, you know, Jake Baldino just walking around, and you know, Maddie plays. He's outside, and everybody's starting to come back to the arena. So I thought it was really good.
Yeah, no doubt. No, I'll jump into. It was really cool to see. You know, I think what I noticed is PAX slowly getting back its strength back to the old time. Like each year post-pandemic, we saw like wall hallways empty. Now we start to see a little bit more fill. Still not at 100%, but it's slowly coming back. Starting to get that old PAX feel. Nintendo is back. You see that. Shout out to Xbox. We did a pop-up out of nowhere.
Oh yeah, that was crazy.
That was so
yeah, shout out to Major Nelson.
Yeah, salute. Yeah, that was love.
One of the reasons I'm hopeful when it comes to that Xbox coming back to PAX is because they respected the event enough. We're like, look, we're not going to pay the money and fee there, but we know, we acknowledge the presence that you have.
Yeah.
So at least we're going to be in that area.
Absolutely. I want to shout out them. Focus Room I thought was strong. I felt like I really like Atlas 4. That was arguably one of my games in the show. The dev was so passionate about it. I learned more about it. I thought it was going to be one biome, kind of like a desert, Mad Maxy kind of vibe, but then come to find out it's more. Then when he starts to do the traversal and he's Silver Surfer, Sandstorm moving like Chris was doing, when he showed Chris how to do it, we was doing the gameplay, it really blew me away. So they had a strong showing. Of course, I got to salute the home team. DBO was in full effect. It was just so fun to see people try it for the first time. Solve tried it for the first time. Had so much fun to see the community that embraced them. And of course, we got to salute more home team. Valari was in the building. Can we still have Valari was in the building? Valari was in the building. Halal the Dean. You know, the thing that what's the name of the champion? Oh, we don't want to know about him. I don't want to talk about. They had a professional ringer beat me. They set me up. They're like, yeah, fight it. I said, yeah, I thought he's a regular dude. This dude is like on the what's the fighting championship?
Yeah, he's the leadership.
He's like, this is like Evo, dude. I'm like, oh man. I tried to make it just don't get me up out of there so fast.
You know what's crazy? That game wasn't even his main.
That's not even his main game.
What game we playing?
I don't know what I'm talking about. But he's playing Tekken. And
oh my God.
I don't want to talk about it. I got to get my faculties together. We deleting that footage. They set me up, but all jokes aside, the energy to see Like, everybody crowd around the lawn, everybody's got their Valori, everybody's having fun. It just shows you how much that genre is missed, and to see the energy with that. But yeah, those are the shout outs. And probably like one more, I would say. You had the Atlas Fallen. What was that one we played, Petey? That it was the 4-player. It was the one you ain't like.
Oh,
I think it was the one that guy like. But
the
it
one
was
that I wanted to just like send everybody out in the airlock.
Yeah,
what was that? The
it was Void something. It was a 4-player.
It was a focus as well.
Yes, it was 4-player. It was what you call it?
Void Crew.
Void Crew. And you gotta work together to put the ship and go places and do
troll
stuff.
that
And it's
bad.
funny because you see the friendships fall apart.
Yeah.
And it's such a fun game.
You and me would love that.
Yes.
Because we would like push people out the airlock.
Yeah.
Oh, shut it behind.
It's like serious Among Us. But like serious, you got goals, you got missions and stuff like that. But those are my standouts right there. But let's get to you, Pete. What about you? What was some of the stuff for you?
I think that one of the things I really loved about PAX this year, not only was the amount of people that were there, the reserve, the rush of all the vendors and everything coming back. I thought that was amazing. I was kind of surprised by how a lot of the emails and stuff that we were trying to get, no one was replying back, and it was just
a little unprofessional.
There was a lot of real weird unprofessionalism that we've never seen in the past. But I think that's because a lot of new blood is coming in, so they don't know how to operate and do things, and now they just got to kind of iron this stuff out. So we understand, and hopefully everything in the future will be a lot easier. But I would say that a lot of games like Capes.
Yes.
What was the Alien?
Oh, and the one Jake was playing, Alien. What was the name of that Alien game?
Alien Descent.
Dark Descent.
Dark Descent
Jake
was good.
did on it for like.
That was good. No, the Dark Descent was good, but what was that Alien? There was another Alien game that was right next to Void Crew.
That's Dark Descent. Yeah, that was Dark Descent. Yeah.
What was the Protocol?
Oh, something Protocol. Another I know what you're talking about.
Oh, the Korean game.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's the one.
That was another one that looked really good.
Yeah. Oh, real quick, I gotta shout out my home team. Addict, our boy, Lost Idolon is in the field. He finally announced the Xbox Series Blackout version of Blackout Protocol.
Blackout Protocol was really good. There was a handful of games I was just.
Turn-based was in the building.
Yeah, there was a lot of turn-based this time around. I mean, like War Groove 2 was out, which I saw from Chucklefish. That was really good. I felt like there was a lot of really amazing games, a lot of passionate developers that you talked to. Some of this is the first time they're even there.
What was the joint we covered? It was kind of like, it was MMO, Ostery. It was really cool. They had the
Wayfinder?
Wayfinder, yeah.
Wayfinder,
I mean,
that game's got so much potential, and from talking to the whole entire the whole dev team, it sounds like that is probably one of the more community-driven games for an MMO, and they are listening, and they said that one of their main components of their game that they want to always make sure they do is listen to the community and put in what they want, which is something that I don't think most developers do, especially in the MMO genre of things. They just kind of this is what we want. We know you want that, but you'll get that eventually. We're going to do what we want anyway. So I think that they have a lot of potential there, and I think things are really, really great. I could sit here and talk all day. I mean, I think that there was so many great things. I can't stop, so I'm just gonna. I was passing it over. So yeah, it was really good.
What about you, man? What about you, Will? What are your standouts? I know you have some stuff to cut off site.
Well, one of the things that stood out to me was Dead Island 2, only because I thought this was going to be awful. Embracer has been known lately for putting out 7 out of 10, 7, 8, 7, 5. Embracer's quality has not been up to par. Dead Island 2 has been in development for over 10 years now. It's been through 3 development teams at least that we know of. It's been through development hell and back. And what we played, it's unfortunate that there wasn't a developer there and a team there to meet us there, but what we played blew my expectations. I was really surprised. The mechanics, the visuals, the weapons, everything's there as it should be, and I was really impressed. We only got to play a small slice. We weren't able to ask the questions on how, what representation of this is complete game, but visually it's fantastic. The weapons are cool, and the way the zombies move and interact and parts of them blow off is just, it's interesting, it's unique, and it's fun, and it's cool. I went off site and I met with the CEO of Digital Sun. They're the developers from Spain that did Moonlighter, and they're working. Yeah. They're working with Riot Games on a action-adventure pixel art game that is coming out on April 18th called The Mage Seeker, a League of Legends story. It takes place in the League of Legends universe. Fantastic game. I absolutely love it. And
you had it as one of your best games of the show.
It was probably my favorite game of the show, but I'm a huge Moonlighter fan. Moonlighter was in Game Pass forever. Right. That was a fantastic indie game. You know, love it. And we all love that as an indie game. And now, this is without the shop mechanics, but it's a 15-hour story. Right. And Riot let them go nuts and do a lot of really cool stuff with the story. They gave me some stuff I don't really want to spoil for anyone, but the story is really good.
Yo, so you're an NDA dude.
You've been an NDA dude.
I know. Handed the NDA in the bag at the door.
And Alone in the Dark was really cool. I went in, and I think most people who listen to ILP are going to be probably more Dreamcast-centric, and you're going to be thinking about Alone in the Dark as a Dreamcast game, but this is Alone in the Dark as a 3DO MS-DOS game, and it's remake of that universe, completely detached from what was on the Wii and what was on the Dreamcast. Visually, I mean, it's very close to what has been going on with Resident Evil. It doesn't look like a remake of a DOS game. They're using elements of that universe. It's a whole new game, it's a whole new experience, but it has nothing to do with the Dreamcast.
Can I say something? I want to say that when we spoke to the guys from
Take the piss.
the pistol. I'm sorry. Hold that pride, bro. When we spoke to the developers for Alone in the Dark, I will say that the game looked amazing, and they did not want us to video anything because they didn't want to spoil anything for anybody. And I think that
we only got 30 minutes left.
You wrapping us up again?
Wrap it up,
but anyway, there was a lot of really cool elements, and I will say that is something definitely everybody should keep an eye out for. It was so good.
Breaking NDA, maybe not breaking NDA. We played the prologue demo, and you're going to have a chance to play that soon. It's going to go out to the general public pretty soon. We did not play the full game, or part of the game. We played the prologue, which is exclusive, heading out to the public. And of course, the last game I'll talk about, Mina the Hollower from Yacht Club Games. Love Yacht Club Games. We played Shovel Knight. They're doing, they describe it as a Game Boy Color game. I don't think that's fair, because it looks something more akin to like what you would see with the Super Nintendo, and the visuals are way better than anything you would expect from a Game Boy Color game. And it's Yacht Club Games. And Mina the Hollower is so cool as a character in the universe, and the Nazi Castlevania, and I just love everything.
Well, no doubt.
Lord, see you, Chris. First PAX, you were hitting the ground running, camera, photo ops, you were doing it all.
What about you? What were your standout games?
It was a huge experience. Like I said, something I'll never forget. You know, you mentioned Demio, Lord Sovereign's first foray into it. You know, me and Kaz and Petey playing all the time. Not just Demio in general, but to see cosplay. Shout out Quick Cosplay.
Oh, yes, they did that. She did that.
Especially coming in dressed up as Klepto today.
Yes.
With all that definitely can't be easy.
Yeah, that's not easy. That's easy. If y'all see the Klepto character, y'all understand.
But you mentioned Atlas Fallen, a game that I'm not in tune and inclined to normally play. And you mentioned the sand surfing, being able to jump up in the air, grapple, pull yourself closer. You got this scythe you can throw around. Absolutely amazing. Looks phenomenal. Alterian shift, like Attic mentioned.
Yeah, you were adding to it.
Harps back to the old school JRPGs. So I mean, you know, old school Final Fantasy, old school Suikoden, my baby.
Oh yeah, that's your baby.
If you're into that, you'll love Alterium Shift. I actually got to play a little bit more than what the video will show because I played twice.
Nice.
There's fishing. There's a whole bunch of stuff that's extra included.
Okay, you also played.
We got to play.
You got to play some Lord of the Rings. Talk to him.
I'm in the minority. I absolutely love God.
My man, I love it.
I thought it looked great.
I thought it looked great.
So me and Sovereign walked past it. Me and Sovereign walked past it, And I was like, this is the game they were hating on? I said, this game was absolutely amazing. And yeah, I want to play as Gollum. Yeah, I want to steal some rings. Cool.
7 out of 10. that game's not going to have a Metacritic score higher than a 78.
I don't like people chew my food. Thank you.
Gollum in his magic diaper.
Listen, man.
Oh, so you upset because you got pamper butt?
No! He can hide stuff
The
in
thing
there.
that got me sad is why, because like I think you had to learn on PC on that one, right? The demo, am I mistaken? Oh no, it's But the thing is, like, it was like the learning curve first and getting to the stealth mechanics, and he was so close to the dev was like, okay, now we're gonna get to the strangle mechanic. And I was like, yes, let's get to the strangle. I want to see the hobbit. So he couldn't get there. That was my only thing. But apparently, you did it after.
I did get there. The camera cut off. I did get to strangle me some more.
How was the voice? How was his voice?
Now, Andy Serkis is a mastermind when it comes to Lord of the Rings. If you're a big Lord of the Rings fan, you love Andy Serkis, you love Gollum, this is as close as you can get, I believe, without making Andy Serkis do the voice acting. And I did get to see a little bit of the secondary, which we didn't get on video.
Right.
The guy came back and we talked a little bit more.
Mind you, it was early act like early development.
Early access. I will say the camera work needs some work when you're traversing, climbing up cliffs. You have to jump backwards and stuff. It's kind of hard to see. But he showed me the dark territory of Mordor, going into the buildings. Dark, grimy. It fits absolutely what you think Mordor would look like.
Nice.
Phenomenal game, and I think will be bigger than a 7G.
What's the bet? What's the bet?
Oh, what we bet? Benedict. LOGNET Benedict. What we bet? What you going with? 7? Strong 7?
I'm saying it's not going to get anything above a 7.8 or 78.
All right, what we thinking, Chris?
8.7.
Oh!
I'll put my knees on it.
Oh! Knees on it. Okay, knees is on it. Knees on it.
Yeah,
All right.
Loser has to stream a game for 2 hours.
For 2 hours. Oh, all right, bet. Oh! You were cheating going up against the young boy? Why you holding on to the picture when you don't let him respond?
He ain't giving it back.
The last thing I'll say before I answer Saul's question is, like I said, I've still got some work. He did show me things they're improving on. The game has a lot of problems.
Okay, fair enough.
So I asked him that, and we have that on tape. I think it was. I think it's in. I'm sorry. Refuse to hold the bizzle. I'm sorry. I'm Italian. I'll just scream. So it's in between him losing the ring.
Losing it to Bilbo.
Losing it to Bilbo and before the Fellowship.
Okay.
You're in that time.
And he
frame.
did emphasize that if you're a Lord of the Rings fan, there's
a lot
of lore.
And some Easter eggs.
Yes.
It looks great.
Absolutely. And
G will split the.
oh yeah. Lord G, man. I don't get a chance to hit the floor at all. Or was there anything that interested you this time?
Yeah, so the Atlas Fallen, that was the one we were talking
Yes,
about. Sounds
yes.
like Darksiders a bit. Is that
little bit. Yes,
kind of
the dev did mention that.
Sounds like-
I asked him some of his
That's a great
inspiration.
series.
He
So
said that, yeah.
That sounds like it's going to be pretty cool. I've been very much looking forward to the Gollum game. I saw the last trailer and I'm like, I don't know why people are down on this game.
Yeah, I
It
thought it
looks so good. But I mean, maybe people don't like stealth. I love stealth
Yeah, me
games,
too.
so I'm like very
There's a lot of stuff.
A lot of stuff, very stuff heavy.
It sounds really fun to me. Street Fighter.
Yeah.
Actually looking forward to a new Street Fighter. I already pre-ordered it. It's been a while since I've gotten into Street Fighter, so that was something that was interesting. Beyond that, it's cool to see that you're getting all these smaller games, right? Some of the big things that we always get. So yeah, it's interesting, and it's nice to see Microsoft show up. Nintendo has something going on.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Alec, what the heck?
Nintendo had like 2 big booths.
Nice. Did Sony show up or did they not?
No, Sonny did that.
I guess they were worried about reading CMA.
Oh, but we're going to get into that. We're going to get into that. Before we transition, this is a great transition. I do want to say I have to shout. We'd be remiss if we did not shout out WrestleQuest's presence at this event.
Oh, wait. You ain't, hold on.
Oh, let's go.
Give us business.
Okay, so while you talk about Wrestle,
I got beat. I got balls.
I put my Wrestle Story up against your WrestleQuest any day. Now I do know WrestleQuest looks very nice, and they had a whole entourage there. They had a whole ring.
They had a whole ring in there.
Yeah, but around the corner was the true champ. And the true champ is Wrestle Story. Now, in Wrestle Story is a turn-based wrestling game. And it plays like Final Fantasy with a huge story. And it is probably the most unique take on a wrestling game that I've ever seen.
I'm in.
You just described WrestleQuest.
And this is where this ends. WrestleQuest looks like a 16-bit game. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
But this looks like a 32-bit. You know, it's a robot.
I feel that.
Yeah, it's a bigger thing.
Usable power.
You guys share this. Like, we don't have to keep doing this.
Yeah, they go. So look. All I would say is, there's a lot of contenders for the throne.
Yeah.
And if you listen to that new Lords of Gaming .net interview that we have with my man from Mega Cat Studios, he actually put his belt on. He said there's a lot of frauds out here trying to act like they are the JRPG wrestling story champion. And he said, I challenge these up and coming. He literally said it on our interview. I was like, oh, you taking shots at the game on the floor? I was like, this dude.
Yeah, because he was right down.
He was right. He said, yeah, because these other dudes, we did it first.
Yeah.
He said, and he had the leather, he had the snakeskin
now.
belt, and he said, listen to Lords of Gaming down there, I'm going to tell you, we the real chair, and he had the belt. So just watch the interview. When they go up, and he going to answer all the questions about the other dude. Oh,
He just had props. He had props. So you have to look at our interview, and then I will put our game up against their game.
And their game had Double J, they had no real wrestling. We had real wrestling. But anyway, we're going to real.
Throughout the podcast, I'll put the gameplay from all the games.
Yeah. So look, time to get one, but we have to talk about the elephant in the room while the Lords were away.
Yes, sir.
As a transition, did Tom, you want to set that up?
Okay, so we may not be giving you an actual live podcast tomorrow, but there was smoke to be had.
Findings.
And the Lords and hard YouTube are here to expound upon.
Yeah.
So, our good friend Tom Warren.
Shout out to Tom Warren. Shout out to Verge.
The Verge. And I quote, killing me here.
Phone killing, attic killing. You gotta go back. Hit the back. Back. There you go.
There you go. So, according to Tom Warren of the Verge, UK regulators side with Microsoft over Call of Duty on PlayStation concerns. The UK's Competition Market Authority has updated its financial model after Microsoft publicly criticized its Mac. So, according to Tom Warren, the CMA has now sided with Microsoft on indicating that there aren't any concerns about Call of Duty not being a good platform once it's under the Microsoft. So that's essentially it. Kind of a U-turn on what was going on with
Yeah, it was quite an interesting Friday. This whole week has been crazy. Redfall previews, GDC, lots of cool stuff coming out of there, especially with Ninja Theory, and then this whole big disclosure that came up. Essentially, they took Sony's numbers and said, okay, it looks like this would be a problem. Microsoft could take it away. It would cause financial harm, and it would be beneficial to Microsoft. And Microsoft said, well, no, you took numbers that are wrong. They were years out versus year to year. And they took Microsoft's analysis and said, you're right. And there is no financial benefit. In fact, you would have losses if you took this game away from Sony. So there's just no SLC here. There's no point in calling console an issue. On top of that, they put the game on Nintendo, right? They took away Sony's big calling, saying Nintendo is not a competitor to us, and said, no, we're putting it on the Nintendo Switch. Forget we're putting it on the next console, we're putting it on the Nintendo Switch. So they've taken all the cards away from Sony, which basically eliminated that whole problem. And now back to cloud is the only thing, as we've been seeing. Everyone, every cloud provider in the world is saying, here's your 10-year deal, here's your 10-year deal, you get a 10-year deal, you get a 10-year deal. And they're essentially going to end that whole thing. This thing is close to finishing out at this point.
Do you think, this last question, do you think this was one of the major tipping points to kind of
100%.
push it
Like,
through
you know,
with the CMA?
the one, you know, oddity in this, or the one potential wild card was the CMA. Right. The FTC, the case. I don't know if you know this. The gamers lawsuit was also tossed up this week, and that was based on everything the FTC had said. So the FTC has no case. So if it does go to federal court, it's going to get tossed. I don't think it's going to go there, though. I think the FTC is going to come to the table after all this from the CMA and the EC. They're going to try to make a deal before the EC finishes theirs. So they're going to come to terms as well. But the EC had already tossed up. They'd already tossed their stuff out. It was just cloud. The CMA doing the same thing. It's pretty much done at this point. But yeah, the CMA saying that the console part is gone, that was where they wanted the divestiture of Call of Duty. That's out the window. They're pretty close to agreeing. I think the CMA goes first, FTC next, EC last. This finishes end of April, beginning of May.
Wow, very interesting. Go ahead, Addict, your thoughts on this. You know how you love talking. You love talking about this.
I want to say shout out to someone finally putting out their little shadow practice.
And you mentioned the sand surfing, being able to jump up in the air, grapple, pull yourself closer. You got this sight you can throw around. Absolutely amazing. Looks phenomenal. Alterium shift, like Attic mentioned.
Yeah, that's you adding to it.
Harps back to the old school JRPGs. So I mean, you know, old school Final Fantasy, old school Suikoden, my baby.
Oh yeah, that's your baby.
If you're into that, you'll love Alterium shift. I actually got to play a little bit more than what the video will show because I played twice.
Nice.
There's fishing. There's a whole bunch of stuff that's extra included.
Okay, you also played.
Yeah, we
got to play this.
You got to play some Lord of the Rings. Talk to him.
I'm in the minority. I absolutely love God.
Bro, my man, I love it.
I thought it was great.
I thought it was
So me and Sovereign walked past it. Me and Sovereign walked past it, and I was like, "This is the game they were hating on." I said, "This game looks absolutely amazing," and yeah, I want to play as Gollum. Yeah, I want to steal some rings.
7 out of 10. that game's not going to have a Metacritic score higher than a 78.
I don't like people chew my food. Thank you.
Gollum in his magic diaper.
Listen, man.
Well, so you upset because you got pamper butt?
No. The thing that got me sad is wild because, like, I think you had to learn on PC on that one, right? The demo, am I mistaken? Oh no, it's not. But the thing is, like, it was like the learning curve first and getting to the stealth mechanics, and he was so close because the dev was like, okay, now we're gonna get to the training mechanic. And I was like, yes, let's get to this training. I want to see the hobbit. So he couldn't get there. That was my only thing. But apparently, you did it after.
I did get there. The camera cut off. I did get to strangle me some more.
How was the voice? How was his voice?
Now, Andy Serkis is a mastermind when it comes to Lord of the Rings. If you're a big Lord of the Rings fan, you love Andy Serkis, you love Gollum, this is as close as you can get, I believe, without making Andy Serkis do the voice acting. And I did get to see a little bit of the secondary, which we didn't get on video.
Right.
The guy came back and we talked a little bit more.
Mind you, it was early act, like early development.
Early access. I will say the camera work needs some work when you're traversing, climbing up cliffs. You have to jump backwards and stuff. It's kind of hard to see. But he showed me the dark territory of Mordor, going into the buildings. Dark, grimy. It fits absolutely what you think Mordor would look like.
Nice.
Phenomenal game, and I think will be bigger than a 7G.
What's the bet? What's the bet?
Oh, what we bet? Benedict. The LOGNET Benedict. What we bet? What you going with? 7? Strong 7?
I'm saying it's not going to get anything above a 7.8 or 78 at Metacritic.
All right, what we thinking, Chris?
8.7.
Oh!
I'll put my knees on it.
Oh! Knees is on it. Okay, knees is on it. Knees on it.
Yeah, LOGNET. Loser has to stream a game for 2 hours.
For 2 hours. Oh, all right, bet.
My knees on it, so I'm with you.
Oh! You were cheating going up against the young boy.
I ain't going above the 7.8.
Why you holding on to the pistol when you don't let him respond?
He ain't giving it back.
So the last thing I'll say before I answer Saul's question is, like I said, I've still got some work. He did show me things they're improving on. The game has a lot of promise.
Okay.
I just want to know where it's situated.
how does the Lord go? Is it in between that or what?
So I asked him that, and we have that on tape. I think it was.
Yeah. Bizzle,
I think
man.
it's in. I'm sorry.
Refusing to hold the business.
I'm sorry. I'm Italian. I'll just scream. So it's in between him losing the ring.
Losing it to Bilbo.
Losing it to Bilbo and before the Fellowship.
Okay.
So you're in that time
And he
frame.
did emphasize that if you're a Lord of the Rings fan, there's
a lot
of
of
lore
lore.
and some Easter eggs.
Yes.
It looked great.
Absolutely.
And what about G will split the
Oh, yeah.
Lord Geek.
Lord Geek, man. I don't get a chance to hit the floor at all. Or was there anything that interested you this time?
Yeah, so the Atlas Fallen, that was the one you were talking
Yes,
about. Sounds
yes.
like Darksiders a bit. Is that
A little,
kind
yes,
of
they
what
did. They did mention that.
Sounds like-
I asked him some of his
That's a great
inspiration.
series.
He
So
said that, yeah.
That sounds like it's going to be pretty cool. I've been very much looking forward to the Gollum game. I saw the last trailer and I'm like, I don't know why people are down on this game.
Yeah, I
it
thought it
looks
was-
so good. But I mean, maybe people don't like stealth. I love stealth
Yeah, me
games,
too.
so I'm like very
There's a lot of stuff.
A lot of stuff, very stuff heavy.
Sounds really fun to me. Street Fighter.
Yeah.
I'm actually looking forward to a new Street Fighter. I already pre-ordered it. It's been a while since I've gotten into Street Fighter, so that was something that was interesting. Beyond that, it's cool to see that you're getting all these smaller games, right? Some of the big things that we always get. So yeah, it's interesting, and it's nice to see Microsoft showed up. Nintendo had something going on.
Yeah.
I know.
Alec, what the heck?
Nintendo had like 2 big booths. One was
Nice. Did Sony show up or did they not?
No, Sonny did that.
I guess they were worried about reading CMA.
Oh, but we're going to get into that. We're going to get into that. Before we transition, this is a great transition. I do want to say I have to shout, we'd be remiss if we did not shout out WrestleQuest's presence at this event.
Oh, wait. You ain't. Hold on.
Whoa, let's go.
Give us please.
Okay, so while you talk about Wrestle,
Oh, I got beat. I got balls.
I put my Wrestle Story up against your WrestleQuest any day. Now I do know WrestleQuest looks very nice, and they had a whole entourage there. They had a whole ring.
They had a whole ring in
Yeah, but around the corner was the true champ. And the true champ is Wrestle Story. Now, in Wrestle Story is a turn-based wrestling game. And it plays like Final Fantasy with a huge story. And it is probably the most unique take on a wrestling game that I've ever seen.
I'm in.
You just described WrestleQuest.
And this is where this ends. WrestleQuest looks like a 16-bit game. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
But this looks like a 32-bit. You know, it's a robot.
I feel that.
Yeah, it's a bigger thing.
Usable power.
You guys share this. Like, we don't have to keep doing this.
Yeah, they go. So look. All I would say, I want to go across the table. All I would say is, there's a lot of contenders for the throne.
Yeah.
And if you listen to that new Lords of Gaming interview that we have with my man from Mega Cat Studios, he actually put his belt on. He said there's a lot of frauds out here trying to act like they are the JRPG wrestling story champion. And he said, I challenge these up and coming. He literally said it on our interview. I was like, oh, you taking shots at the game on the floor? I was like, this dude.
Yeah, because he was right down.
He was right. He said, yeah, because these other dudes, we did it first.
Yeah.
He said, and he
It's
had
good
the
to
leather,
call
he had
them
the
out
snakeskin
now.
belt, and he said, listen to Lords of Gaming down there, I'm going to tell you, we the real chair, and he had the belt. So guess what? I said, when they go up, and he going to answer all the questions about the other dude. Oh,
He just had
But anyway.
props. He had props. So you have to look at our interview, and then I will put our game up against their game.
And they gave me had Double J, and they had no real wrestling. We had real wrestling. But anyway, we gonna
Throughout the podcast, I'll clip the gameplay from all the games.
Yeah. So look, time to get one, but we have to talk about the elephant in the room while the Lords were away.
Yes, sir.
As a deep transition, did Sam, you want to set that up?
Okay, so we may not be giving you an actual live podcast tomorrow, but there was smoke to be had. And
Findings.
And the Lord and hard YouTube are here to expound upon.
Yeah.
So, our good friend Tom Warren.
Yeah, shout out to Warren, shout out to Verge.
The Verge. And I quote, killing me here.
Phone killing, attic killing. You gotta go back, hit the back. Hit that back. There you go.
There you go. So, according to Tom Warren of the Verge, UK regular side with Microsoft over Call of Duty on PlayStation The UK's competition market authority has updated its financial models after Microsoft publicly criticized its Mac. So according to Tom the CMA has now sided with Microsoft on indicating that there aren't any concern about Call of Duty not being a good platform once it's under Microsoft. So that's essentially it. How do you feel on what was going on with
Yeah, it was quite an interesting Friday. This whole week has been crazy. Redfall previews, GDC, lots of cool stuff coming out of there, especially with Ninja Theory, and then this whole big disclosure that came up. Essentially, they took Sony's numbers and said, okay, it looks like this would be a problem. Microsoft could take it away. It would cause financial harm, and it would be beneficial to Microsoft. And Microsoft said, well, no, you took numbers that are wrong. They were years out versus year to year. And they took Microsoft's analysis and said, you're right. And there is no financial benefit. In fact, you would have losses if you took this game away from Sony. So there's just no SLC here. There's no point in calling console an issue. On top of that, they put the game on Nintendo, right? They took away Sony's big calling, saying Nintendo is not a competitor to us, and said, no, we're putting it on the Nintendo Switch. Forget we're putting it on the next console, we're putting it on the Nintendo Switch. So they've taken all the cards away from Sony, which basically eliminated that whole problem. And now back to cloud is the only thing, as we've been seeing. Everyone, every cloud provider in the world is saying, here's your 10-year deal, here's your 10-year deal, you get a 10-year deal, you get a 10-year deal. And they're essentially going to end that whole thing. This thing is close to finishing up at this point.
Do you think, this last part, do you think this was one of the major tipping points to kind of push it through with the CMA?
The one oddity in this, or the one potential wild card, was the CMA. Right. The FTC, the case, I don't know if you know this, the gamers lawsuit was also tossed up this week, and that was based on everything the FTC had said. So the FTC has no case. So if it does go to federal court, it's going to get tossed. I don't think it's going to go there, though. I think the FTC is going to come to the table after all this from the CMA and the EC. They're going to try to make a deal before the EC finishes theirs. So they're going to come to terms as well. But the EC had already tossed out stuff. They'd already tossed their stuff out. It was just cloud. The CMA doing the same thing. It's pretty much done at this point. But yeah, the CMA saying that the console part is gone, that was where they wanted the divestiture of Call of Duty. That's out the window. They're pretty close to agreeing. I think the CMA goes first, FTC next, EC last. This finishes end of April, beginning of May.
Wow, very interesting. Go at it, get thoughts on this. You know how you love talking. You love talking about this.
I want to say shout out to someone finally putting out their little shadow practice.
The Sony baloney, I call it.
Love it. Senator, someone over there in Congress, I'm gonna be going, but I love it. Like someone finally pointed out. It's like, look, like I get you say it over here, so it's like, what you doing over there, Square Enix? And I ain't talking about this.
The one more thing I'll add is the latest was a senator from Washington went over to Japan and said, hey Japan, you've got this 98% market share Sony, and you don't do anything to regulate them. What's going on? And they're now looking into Sony. It's another big, huge thing that's happening.
I think the biggest thing is the fact that the bad faith arguments to go out. I don't mind the argument. I don't mind you trying to block it. It's business.
It's business. You got to do what you got to do.
But the thing that bothers me is banking arguments, bad faith arguments that are not based on real tangible numbers. That if you look at the landscape of the market, it's obvious what's going to do. And all of that was being sort of put under the rug. And it was, I sort of felt like the people that were going to rule on this had no understanding.
No, I was just waiting for you to finish.
No, hand me the pizzle.
Give me your pizzle. Release the pizzle.
Pause.
Super Bowl.
I hand the pizzle. But no, that was it. To me, it's just like, finally, it feels like there's understanding from these governing bodies as to what is happening. And
they're not kind of being focused like the 5-year-olds. So they're understanding, and now you can really look at them. But again, a lot of things that Sony is pointing out that Microsoft is doing, they're doing. And it's like, okay, well, what are you seeing? But now that's out on the table, and we've seen the results.
And I think that's like the biggest issue people have. Like people always say stuff like that. No one cares that PlayStation's trying to block it. It's business. They don't want that money. And for the most part, they don't want that type of. That's what I'm looking for. They don't want that type of marketing. That type of. Can I please?
Ain't nobody stopping your pistol.
You have the other pistol.
Whoa, it's two pistol situation.
It's a two pistol situation. Use your pistol.
Sony doesn't want to give that. Sony doesn't want to give that much bargaining chips to their competition. So no one cares that they're trying to block it. What I care about, I think the majority of people care about, is how they're blocking it. They're throwing stones and acting like they're the ones that's not throwing stones. Like they're pointing at people doing stuff. And when people point at them, they're like, I don't know what you're talking about. And then what's more annoying is the fanboys of that platform act like they don't do the same thing. They're like, oh, but it's different. No. If anything, I would say if you go out and you buy the company, you back that ecosystem, you back that completely, you fund it. You have way more bargaining chips.
Time. You do that to me every week.
Finish Attic. Attic, finish.
When it comes down to it, they're actually investing into the ecosystem. It's different than just going to a company and saying, I'm going to give you a check for hundreds of $1 million to yank it off the platform. Microsoft's coming in there and saying, I'm going to buy your company, fund your company, invest in your company, and make your games better, but they have to be on my platform.
I have my own pistol. Thank you. I do appreciate it. Oh man, shout out to the Omni. Let's go.
Did the Omni help close the deal for Microsoft?
Well, you know, I mean, hey, they did a pop-up. Yeah, they did a pop-up.
The premium experience.
To be honest with you, like we usually do Airbnb, and just like after last I generally enjoy being
Omni LA, we're looking at you.
Yeah, we're watching the Omni Hotel.
We'd like to cut a 10-year deal with the.
Yeah, we're giving out a 10-year deal.
We put Call of Duty on there.
Shout out to the internet, man. The internet is good.
Internet's good.
They treated the world good.
Yes, sir.
So, Omni's where it's at.
Yes,
So
sir.
this is where snitching goes wrong. You ever try to get your snitch game on and just they look at you? None of the stuff that you said was real, and they looking at you now. You've been doing this bad practically. Where's my Final Fantasy 7? I refuse to play it on the PlayStation because I don't care. I want it on my Xbox. You said it was coming. Where is that? It's a third-party game. Where is that? If you're doing shady, underhanded stuff, then let me know that I'm never gonna get it. Come out and say it. Nah. You ghosting me. You got my money. You ghosting me. I want my Final Fantasy, and it looks like you're about to have to get that up. We at the time now where they're looking at what you're doing. and what I like most. What you like most? All these fake dudes that y'all was talking about, oh, this deal might not close, I'm 50-50. All of a sudden, y'all are 100% now. Like, all of a sudden, y'all told me, King, hold back, you don't, King. You know, don't be too. I told you I was gonna close. I just said you had to wet enough pallets. Somebody beat had to get wet as the money was going across. So now that the beat's been wet, it's gonna pass, and Call of Duty is gonna be for the whole team. Yo, in one house, you have the Doom guy, you have Halo, and now you got the Call of Duty squad. It is absolute pandemonium. Y'all can't handle it. And I just want to know, where's that Sony baby stuff? Where's that? Where y'all at though? Having fun with y'all.
Yeah. King has spoken. I knew this was coming. You know, look, this is a significant day in the sense that it feels like a major headline, right? It feels like there may be a light at the end of the tunnel. So it's been a long day. Think about when this announcement started, right? So for them to make this type of argument, make these type of findings, and say, okay, hey, look, we don't think this harms competition. In terms of Sony. So at this point, if that's the case and it signals that way, then it seems that Sony is going to be more likely to now accept the deal and be interested to see if the deal is actually set, and then hopefully this thing will finalize. I mean, like most of us, we're done with this. You know what I mean? But I've always said, in my mind, it gave the consumer choice. I look at it from the consumer standpoint, and then long term, as long as they're not pulling it away from PlayStation as a legacy title, I didn't see necessarily harm. But I did understand Sony's position with,
So you sympathizing with the snitch?
No, I understand. I understand.
You a snitch sympathizer?
From Jim's position, you got to go all out to protect as a stakeholders. And this is money that is, revenue that you're getting just by it existing on your platform. So I get it. I knew you were going to go punching and scratching. I knew that was going to happen.
But you didn't know you were going to go out like that.
The problem is the real reasons that they're trying to block the merger isn't valid reasons to stop the merger.
Right. It basically, the competition that was harmed was Sony. You know what I mean? From the standpoint of their player base or whatever, they may feel that way. But if you look at the overall gaming sphere, to me it was common sense in that sense. But again, we're getting close. I have to see it finalized, so before we all pop up now. But it definitely looks like this is significant. Well, the thing I want to talk about though is honestly, if
I think when the CMA closes, the rest is falling.
Yeah, we'll see, and it feels that way. The thing that I want to see, to me, which is the bigger picture for Microsoft, is if this goes through, right? Let's say April, whatever, and then May, June. Now you're looking at a year where Starfield comes out, right? You're looking at a year where Call of Duty and maybe all of Activision Blizzard titles now enter Game Pass, right? That's ultimately what this is about. Entering Game Pass. They're not going to pull it away from other platforms, but you have it in Game Pass to make their service compelling. And to Hardeep's point, you're talking about nascent marketing cloud. You're allowing these other cloud providers to also have it. So that, to me, that was the legit argument, because I felt Azure was strong, and if they had that to me really hurts other new people in the space. You're not competing with Game Pass and that. So you put that in there. They I guess those concessions really help the EU try to get on board. Now we get through this, and I just think if it goes through, look, in Game Pass potentially this year
with all the quality.
Now you're talking about Diablo in Game Pass this year.
You know what's crazy about that? Them offering all
Just
of those.
Yeah. Two pistols.
Get the closest. Get the
The funny thing is that when you think about all those deals they made, it takes away the worry about the competition basically everywhere, but at the same time, it makes Game Pass that much more valuable.
Oh, absolutely.
So it really puts Game Pass in places that maybe they wouldn't be
considering. Yeah, absolutely.
How the markets are different.
Absolutely.
So in a way, it's made them even stronger. And I continue to say, I understand all the argument with cloud and how strong Microsoft is in cloud.
That's a nascent market.
They never really followed up on that.
Correct.
Now we see the difference, which is now they're everywhere in cloud, and they're going to exploit.
Let's get LOGNET in here on it. Let's get Gene. I know you've been on the other side of this, so to be fair, I want to be fair. Okay, I never know. I always felt that you did, so I apologize.
I always play devil's advocate, and I would never pull the pom-poms for any company. But full disclaimer, after Activision was acquired, I did purchase Activision stock. So take my okay, I was never
okay, I didn't know it. Boy, got that stock. Smart man. Fair enough.
And you were listing off some things that they were going to come to Game Pass. And one of the things I think about is how far can they go back in terms of what they're going to put into Game Pass? I don't know
Studios, please transform this War Cybertron, Fall of Cybertron. Fail. All the Spider-Man. Yes.
I don't know if they're licensing. That would be the headache.
I know.
If they have to
John Jason Ron do something.
Legends 2 is something I would personally like. I don't know if they can go that far back, but
Phil
do
said he
they
liked the old catalog, but
right? Like how far back are they willing to go? I think within a week they could go as far back as Xbox One, Xbox 360. I don't know how much further back they could go. Right, and also, playing devil's advocate, I think that they're going to have a major rebranding, and I think that there will no longer be an Xbox app and a Game Pass app. I think there will be one app where purchases are made inside of that app, and that app will be available in the web browser on pretty much everything you possibly can. Whether that happens this year, next year, 3 years, I think within the first week of them taking control, I think all the WoW subs become Game Pass subs overnight.
I don't think they're going to force it. You think they would force it? I think
Yes.
they'll leave it
No,
out.
I don't think so.
Wow.
I don't think so.
What do we feel, WoW community?
So, when it comes to like the WoW, like the whole entire side of that and Blizzard, I mean, I can see taking Blizzard, but forcing a subscription on top of a subscription, it'll have to happen because, unfortunately, when it comes to Warcraft, it's its own entity, and it's the same thing like if I was having, if I wanted to play games on Game Pass and then I want to still play Warcraft, I'm going to have 2 subs anyway, and that's what I have right now. I have my Game Pass and I also have my WoW. But if they merge them, I can see them restricting access or doing something.
No,
because they have that now.
No way, because that's how they're going to inflate their Game Pass numbers. They're going to absorb those 5 million WoW subs and the StarCraft subs, whatever else other subs that Blizzard has, and they're going to convert those into Game Pass, and you're going to say, whatever you're paying now, we're going to convert that into a Game Pass, which costs more than a WoW sub. We're going to give that to you and absorb you in, but when your subscription expires, your Game Pass sub is going to run out and you have to renew at the regular price.
I really don't think that would be the case because I don't. I'm sorry. I think that if they end up doing that, it's going to be really hurtful to the whole entire the WoW community. Because
would you stop?
You're going to be getting all these extra
I would stop playing.
You would stop playing?
I would stop playing.
The reason stop playing is they're going to give you more?
No, I would stop playing because the cost would be a lot more.
Well, just consider they had this experiment.
They just got bought by Microsoft. The cost is going to be a lot more.
They did this experiment before with Gold, right? They increased the price, and there was massive backlash. I don't think they would force it. I think they're going to put it in Game Pass. It'll be part of Game Pass.
They're going to be part of Game Pass?
Maybe they would end up putting it in Game Pass and giving people the option to do one or the other.
Exactly.
That's a whole different
What
story.
about the bigger question? What happens with Battle.net? What happens with Battle.net?
So, see, first of all, time. I will tell you this: Battle.net launcher is trash. Really? They should just get rid of Battle.net launcher. Because the communication options and stuff in there, I could see them removing it. But I do not think that they are going to take away the option for WoW subscribers to end up having to be forced into Game Pass because they are not going to do it. They're not.
But we'll see. Look, this is a good question to see the aftermath if once it happens. But we got to get Lord Chris and get close to time. Well, Chris, man, this news broke. Activision Blizzard looks like it's moving in the favor of Microsoft. What's your thoughts, man?
I don't really have a lot to say. I'm glad it'll finally be over because I watched and support so many different podcasts and hearing the same gaming information over and over.
You don't
gets
have
draining.
to hear this over and over again on every podcast for 3 hours.
But I will say, like Destiny and Gary said, for $9.99 a month, the best deal is Game Pass.
Look, Game Pass may be the victor in all of this, man. But you want to get your balls up here?
I'm just going to talk about the World of Warcraft. I honestly believe that they're going to make it better, a little bit more streamlined, stuff like that. And the way that you get in, I don't think you're going to walk away from something. I think that's hyperbole. I think that is something that a fear tactic that you would say, if they do this, that I would definitely walk away. I don't think so. I think at this time, because this is why I got to give Phil Dominus Maximus really expensive his flowers, because I did ask him a long time ago, where's World of Warcraft? And he said, we're cooking. And that was a long time ago. Little did we know. I didn't know he was cooking this. I didn't know this meal was going to be cooked.
I did.
Yeah, but he picked it.
Yeah.
And for this to happen, if you're going to lose Petey, you're going to gain me.
I personally feel like if they do that, they're going to merge them all together in one structure. Yeah, because here's the thing, they've been doing a lot of consolidating when it comes to stuff like that. And to me, why let Activision be one thing and the other one be the other was, in that case, the BattleNet, like, what are you doing with that? Like, here's the thing, like, a lot of people might not like BattleNet, but I was saying when everything I've played on BattleNet, I don't come across Steam like it nearly as much. So to me, I would prefer to move everything to BattleNet and stay away from Steam because I feel like Steam is the common denominator when it comes to cheating.
Just you said
So yeah, as far as BattleNet, I think they're going to keep BattleNet and add a Game Pass connection and let you just have everything in BattleNet.
Gotcha.
Because that's the simplest way to go.
Right.
Otherwise, you have to convert everything to Windows.
Yeah. Oh God.
That's a whole set of headaches versus just saying BattleNet can be connected to your.
That's a good point.
Account. You're up and running, right? That's a shorter term to get to.
Major news, we definitely wanted to cover it while we're at PAX, man. Another successful PAX Brothers 2023, one of my favorite trips in the realm. Let's get our closing thoughts, out here. Let's get more at it, man. Closing thoughts, PAX overall, before we wrap up.
Yeah, PAX is good this year. And one thing I can say is just the convenience of being across the street.
Yeah, shout out to No AMD.
It just made it.
Finally, where we staying?
Hey guys. Show that clear up there.
Omni, y'all. Shout out to the Omni. Shout out to the Omni, man.
Staying
So much
there,
love.
great room, great service. You guys know how we are, man. We didn't like what we tell you, but we generally like the service and we like the location. And it's right across the street. I can literally look out a window and see the front doors. I would be annoyed that I have to go.
That premium room service.
Your breakfast.
Lord, your first PAX thoughts, sir? As we wrap.
Like I said before, I've built bonds at this PAX that I will live for a lifetime, and a big shout out to Gene especially, allowing me to have a place to stay so I can experience this with all these great people. And like I said, I'll cherish these memories.
I love man, bro. You work hard. It's a pleasure to have you on the team. It was a pleasure working with you on the floor. Your due diligence, your attention to detail, and the artist to speak for yourself. So an absolute pleasure to have you on the team. No doubt. And across the screen, one, Lord Shaun, how we doing, bro?
I'll pass that picture off to you. Pause.
Yeah, I was just glad to see PAX in full force, and I'm excited. Repopulating one of the PAX, a lot of shows for and now we get to see what they do with these. And I know there's a lot of sort of trepidation about what that looks like, but I'm excited. I'm excited because they know how to put on the show. It's just a matter of who comes. Who comes and what that looks like. Pause.
That whole thing was crazy. The whole thing.
But again, so I'm excited about that. We'll see, but this was a great trip. Along with there being more people, the sort of streamlined nature of how it works was interrupted. You kind of see how certain things, like you were talking about, emails not coming back, certain publishers just didn't email us at all. And so it's hard getting certain things, and that's a little disappointing. But at the same time, that goes along with the show just being bigger and more difficult. So you can't have it both ways. I'm happy that it's back. I'm excited.
Lord King returns.
Man, first of all, back to a beautiful place as far as fighting games go. And me and Sovereign getting a chance to get it on. AJ whipping my behind the Dragon Ball Z fighters. We got a new fighter, a member that's going to be playing all the fighting games with us.
They commanded it.
Yeah, And I love the fact that AJ has now embraced the fighting spirit.
I'm so about it. I'm so about it.
Yeah, he's so into it now.
He's trying to turn his loss into he's channeling.
No, it's a loss, and I see potential in you.
It's a stream. Look, the comment section said we got adequate love. We love to see that.
He's trying to say the king lost, but he just gained us a fighter.
That's right. That's how it goes.
We discovered a fighter.
But last year we were saying that Airbnb. And it was a little formula that we did, and we was passing that formula on to a lot of people. Boston, sometimes that's a little bit inconvenient. with the traffic that's in Boston and the times that we have to leave, and like if I forgot my badge like I did that last time, I had to go all the way back. And so this time we were just right across the street, and the Omni is probably the best hotel for you to stay at. I mean, it's not probably, it is the best hotel. So they gave us this wonderful space for us to actually do a show for you guys, and they did it with no problem. So I feel like if you're going to stay any place, you stay at the Omni Hotel, and where the staff is immaculate, the service is incredible, and they have breakfast. Oh God! Oh yes, chef's kiss. I went against the grain today, and I got Dunkin' Donuts. I'll never do that again. I'm sorry, Omni. I'll definitely catch y'all today. But yo, I had a great time, especially seeing friends and family. Getting a chance to have Hard Geek on the show live. You know, I told him that before, and I was like, yeah, I just wanted him there. You know, because you really mean a lot to us. You know, you're a fantastic person in the community, and I think more people should actually, you know, look to you for your positivity.
And we gonna pop one around for real with the intro.
Yeah.
With the intro.
Chris is here. Magic Gene is here. LOGNET Minus. PD is here. If you're having sub to PD's channel, please go to PD's channel. Sub to his channel, PD TV.
Get that wow.
And that's about it.
Let's get on these, and then we get the lock.
Yeah, it was great to be on the podcast with all of you. It was an interesting PAX. Even the hotel is so cool.
Yeah,
I can only imagine the actual, the hall is all packed. That's great to see. It's starting to open back up. I can't imagine what E3 is going to be like. I hope it'll be crazy. Right? We'll all be catching up with each other down there. And yeah, this year will be interesting as far as Sony's coming out right before. And I know they're going to bring a whole bunch of stuff now. And then hopefully Microsoft responds. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, it's good to see that there's games coming up. There's good stuff coming up. And then yeah, this week it's a fun one. It's definitely a fun one for certain fans. For certain fans, maybe not.
Some people might be in their feelings.
Hey J-Dub.
Oh damn, messy. Anyway, real quick too. Shout out to
that's my friend.
Shout out to the LSM community. Shout out to Mr. Matty Clay.
Yes, I met Matty.
My man Papa Don, Wicked Good Gaming, Shaun Mason coming through. So many people pulled up on us. And the one thing I gotta give King, you gotta say this because every time we walk, you gotta give King this. The Iron Lord crest is so recognizable that people they stop and say, yo, who are they? Who are you? I'm like, yo, we owe it to King, man.
So, I'm going to tell you guys the weirdest experience I've ever had ever doing any event. I was at this Pokemon thing, and I'm sitting there in the back of it. I want to look over and see what's going on. This woman in front of me, she's looking at me like, I'm going to ask you the weirdest question you probably ever heard. Just please listen to the whole thing before you say it. And she was like, I want to feel your shirt. Like,
I want to feel the fabric of press.
I was like, yes.
That was hilarious.
So Addict let a random woman just feel.
Yes, shout out to
Addict.
Lord G, as we close. What are your final thoughts? Another PAX in the books. Another PAX in the books. Your final thoughts, Lord G.
It's going to be another great year of video games of all genres being fantastic. Not just fighting games, but RTS, strategy games, farming games, everything's going to be great. Almost 4 years to the day after I first met you guys out of PAX East. It was great to be back here with you guys and I love working with you guys.
Always love, always the Magic Man. The Magic Man and Crown. Shout out to shout out Lord Donkey, Animal Well. Lord Donkey pulled up, Video Game Donkey, the legend. He's been there publishing. Yeah, he was huge on that. And finally, my man, my ace, my 1-2. Another one in the books, brother.
Another one. Oh.
Final thoughts on that.
I want to go to sleep. Oh my God, it has been.
Feet hurt.
Oh, it's
feet hurt.
It's just been intense and it's just exciting. I love spending time with you guys and what can I say? Just happy another one in the books and can't wait for another one next year. So.
No doubt. Well, shout out to Acela. Shout out to Acela with the greatest promotions going on
yes.
all out.
We'll be seeing you tomorrow.
We'll be seeing you tomorrow
morning.
Look, Lord's had to give y'all something, again from PAX is what we do. We go into the show, we go to these conventions, try to give you as much coverage as we can. It's authentic, it's real, we're real friends here. Everybody loves each other. And I love the community. The community gives back. And we have to give y'all something, just to show y'all the experience. PAX was phenomenal. That's all I got. You have anything else before we get up out of here? Good. ILP Podcast 7 out. Shout out again, Omni Hotel.
Thank you.
Please check them out. Make the stay very pleasant like they did. They treated the Lord with respect. And they showed tremendous courtesy. Shout out to the entire team. And again, shout out to Hip Hop Gamer in the building.
Hip Hop.
Showing
Always
tremendous
shout out
love. Shout out to Red Infamy in the building. So many people. Oh, shout out to my man, Mr. K-Step. Got the shout out for Greg Miller. So many people. So much to anybody that I did forget. Anybody that said hello to each and every one of us. We send our love back. We are out here. PAX East 2023 done. Peace. Peace.